Welcome, everyone. We apologize. We had some technical issues. If you are just joining us, it is 0-0 between your Mohawk Mountaineers and the St. Clair Saints. So far, the game has been a bit of a feeling out period, but now things are picking up. Things are getting a little bit more physical, and no shots on goal for either team. But this,
Really put the pressure on the Mountaineers.
yeah, maybe the first shot on goal is the shot is there, and hits the football pole as it just goes over the crossbar. A very, very close chance there. Matt, we talked about it. The Saints actually don't have a loss yet this season. They have a couple ties and a win, so undefeated. Mountaineers had a draw in their last game.
Yep, 3-3 draw against Fanshawe. Another good game. A couple of goals, one goal by Glassbergen, a goal by Hannah Kelly, who is playing at the front of the formation for the Mountaineers today, and for Valerie LaRoche, who has been all over the place for the Mountaineers in this early season.
Yeah, and we're very excited to be here on a nice, crisp, a little bit cooler and windier day. Still, the sun is shining, and so far, through about 10 minutes, still 0-0 with these teams. No shot on goals just yet, but a few close ones.
Victoria Kerr back in the net for the Mountaineers today, as
Issues like that we thought she might have, she did not show any sign of it. It's a great performance.
she was very composed, as the Mohawk faithful are filing into the stands here as we speak.
I see. It's a basketball athlete, softball. I think it maybe track and field. I think that's
Just
everyone.
about everybody here is. There's been great support all around this early athletic calendar from all teams.
Indeed. So now things kick off. The Saints have had most of the possession so far in this game. Now here's a through ball for Kelly. She just can't get it. Just out of reach. Will be cleared away. But yeah, so far it's still early goings. So now that one is kicked and cleared away. Is now Kelly will control the ball. Looking for numbers. She leaves it back down the side. Now the Mountaineers will look to try to control this one and regain some form. As Kerr gives that one away, and now a dangerous chance for Walsh, but she's lost the ball and pushed off. So good defense, good recovery for the Mountaineers. So now it is down into the corner. Jessica Dahl.
The Mohawk throwing.
We don't have that angle there.
Mohawk throwing.
We don't have that angle there.
No, it's a bit of a blind spot, but looks like it's going Mohawk's way.
A few giveaways in the last 30 seconds. We'll have to see which team will capitalize off these early mistakes, but
Victoria Walsh had a couple of good breakups there of Mohawk passes to create a little bit of pressure on the Mountaineers defense.
it's Kelly with a very nice move. Able to center it to Rodriguez, and now the Mountaineers will control. Able to center it to Rodriguez, and now the Mountaineers will control. Saints still pressuring the cross into Kelly. She just can't control it, but the motion in front of the net and the shot goes wide. Actually, not a bad idea there. There seemed to be the goaltender there for the Saints.
Miscommunication, and Grace McClellan had a nice ball in there to start it all off. Just
A lot of plays through the middle. So now the Saints control possession once again. Rodriguez, who had the lone goal, game possession once again. Rodriguez, who had the lone goal, game-winning goal on. That one is to the center now. Down the right side come the Saints, trying to find some space and some gaps in that Mountaineers defense, but that one will be given away. Roach will find Glassbergen. She will try to put it through to Kelly, but just out of reach for her. Now Saints control possession. Lily Collins will take the free kick and she'll get. Lily Collins will take the free kick and she'll get it right back. As the Saints have had a lot of possession, but haven't really found that gap yet. They've had a good couple through balls into Walsh, but hasn't amounted to a shot on goal except for the one that went over the bar. So that one will be cleared away right to Kelly. What a pass coming in there from Grace McKellen. Now Kelly waiting for numbers for teammates. Tries to cross it into Glassbergen. And that will go out of play, but will be Mountaineers ball.
Last week against Redeemer, we saw a lot of deep throw-ins, caused a couple of good offensive chances for the Mountaineers in a similar position.
And it's good strategy there. I mean, if you have the arm to throw that ball in, that can create a good chance, kind of like a corner. So now the Saints do get the ball back, and they will be in possession as the through ball coming in. What a block to find Kelly. To find Kelly. The flag is up. Is smart play there by Lily Collins.
Yeah, you could see Hannah Kelly knew it just before the whistle went, but it was just too tempting not to.
Seems that the Saints will be playing that high pressure to where they think Kelly might go on a run. They might just stop moving and just let her go offside before the ball even comes through. So we'll have to see if they continue to do that. So now they control possession. The shot onto Kurz, that one will go wide and will be a goal kick. It's Brianna Kimsey Klo went for that shot there and just went wide. We've seen a few of those yet. Nothing quite on net. So the goal kick will be just a pass on the right to LaRoche. Glassbergen calling for the ball. She will get it. She passes it back into the middle now. Now Collins will receive it back. She'll control with Leah Burrell. Down to the corner. Not the best touch. The Mountaineers
Well,
lose possession, but a great tackle there.
Marley Dropper got bailed out there. She had a bit of a miscue on that, but they have tempered pressure for the moment, although now St. Clair with an opportunity.
Cleared away. Yeah, Claudia Calix coming in to help her. That's Hannah Kelly. Again, it seems like she'll be in a lot of 1 versus 2 situations in this game, at least so far.
Calix, Dropper, and Schwartz. Calix and Dropper on the back end and Schwartz in the middle. They've played every minute of.
Oh yeah, look at all the people. Back up. There we go. Yeah, I was like, what the heck are they? There's no way.
14. Who's 14? Let's see. That is Jessica Nola. Got the yellow card. Think.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Again, we apologize having some technical issues here. If you are just joining us again, and it's still 0-0 as the Mountaineers have had their first real attacks of this match with a free kick there from Rodriguez. Just went over Helly's head, and we've had a couple injuries, so we do have some substitutions.
Yeah,
And
Emma Henriquez has come in for Bernarda Torres, who had to be helped off the field after a bit of an awkward fall. So we hope everything's okay there. Looks like she's sitting up and doing well, but did have to be attended to by the trainer. As looks like we're making another sub as Rodriguez comes out.
the Saints are making their first few subs of this game now as well.
Rachel Gudemi coming in for the Mountaineers.
That will be a goal kick for the Saints. Their goalie today is Alexis Constantine, starting netminder. We'll have to see if the Mountaineers can continue to build. They had a few good chances there, started getting it going after the Saints really had dominated play for a little.
Yeah, and they, like you said, they had a free kick from a dangerous spot, and also St. Clair was booked on that play, so they'll have to
Keep an eye on
keep
that.
an eye on that as we have the first yellow card of the game.
Now the Saints control possession once again. They've been doing a lot of those through balls, and when they've gone through, they have been a success. So now that one is down into the corner, and it will be out of play from
There was a bit of a prolonged stoppage as Torres was getting looked after, and I think a lot of the players were reeling and ready to go because it's been kind of all gas, no brakes since the play has resumed here.
It has a lot of physicality, similar to last Friday's game. But for now, no shots directly on goalkeepers have not been tested quite yet. It's only 30 minutes, 32 minutes in. Plenty of time left, not just in the game, but in the first half.
And you have to imagine already there'd be a healthy amount of stoppage time tacked on to the end of this one as there's been some pauses, and Kelly with a nice battle for the ball there.
Great battle there. Sadly, not able to get the through ball. But yeah, she's had her hands full already, obviously, and she's in plenty of outnumbered situations. So now Glassbergen tried to help her out there. The ball will be collected by Leah Burrell and will be passed down to the keeper. She'll put it down to the right side as the Saints have had most of the possession in this game. But I don't think the Mountaineers have really cared about that since they've had some good counter-attacking chances, and most of the time the Saints have not been in Mountaineer territory when they've had the ball.
I think the Mountaineers have played on par, chance for chance. Obviously, um, St. Clair did have the disallowed goal as Hannah Kelly goes down in a dangerous spot.
Big reaction there from the crowd. They want to see some cards. And we've had a lot of tone here from the Mohawk Mountaineers sports community, all the different teams coming here. I've seen some softball, some basketball, some track and field, and surely many more. Is now a free kick in a dangerous position for the Mountaineers. That's how they got their game-winning goal last Friday. We'll have to see if
And
they can get another.
Olivito for St. Clair is going to be punching herself if Glassbergen can convert from a spot that's well within her range.
Definitely, definitely a goal-scoring opportunity, whether it's from a direct shot or a little cross as we see players getting ready to run into the box.
There
Big,
are a lot of players, but you have to think this one's going on net. We'll see.
there's the free kick, and it'll just be high. As the field goal is good, but that is a different football.
Yeah, a little too much mustard on that one.
Seem to just get under it, but still early in this one, so I don't think the Mountaineers will look back with too much shame. So that won't go out, and it will be their ball in St. Clair's territory here as Kelly will control it down the left side. Can she cross it? Keeps it in bounds. Is forced to lose it. That one bounces off the Saints player into the middle.
And that one fell into Gademi's lap, who couldn't quite get it across. And LaRoche just dribbles one towards the St. Clair keeper.
Yeah, we saw a Mountaineer player fall there. The crowd reacted, maybe looking for a penalty. I couldn't really tell if she slipped or got pushed into a slip.
It looked to me more like Gudemi couldn't quite control the ball. I think that's what caused the slip. I don't think there was any contact by the St. Clair defender there.
This play continues. Mountaineers have looked very good in the last few minutes ever since that free kick. They've
Yeah,
had a lot of possession.
the field has certainly tilted in favor of the Mountaineers in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Is Kelly able to pass it back? She will get it back into the corner. Not able to get it cleared away, but Mountaineers throwing.
Another dangerous spot for a Mohawk throw-in.
Seems
Grace
to be
McClellan's got the ball.
Grace McKellen. She will be looking to find someone here as Rachel Kademi was open. She tried to find Kelly as that one will be cleared away by the Saints, and it will be controlled. But a great challenge there coming in from Sylvia Sokas as offside is called on Hannah Kelly.
Seen that a couple times tonight. Obviously, for St. Clair, they had a goal disallowed because of an offside call, and Hannah Kelly has been caught once or twice as well for Mohawk.
Yes, when we were still having our technical problems, the Saints did get a goal, but immediately the flag was raised. So the Mountaineers got away with that one, but it did look clearly offside. So now the Saints will control again from their own end. As the Mountaineers put some pressure. Now that one is given away. Now Kelly has a chance. She can't quite get it. The shot. McFarland getting alive is
Emily Schwartz with the first real on goal shot for Mohawk so far in this one.
yeah, that was the first shot on goal right there for either team.
And she had the lone goal against St. Clair in last year's match, but it was a 4-1 loss. But Schwartz did open the scoring in that contest, so she'll look to continue her success against the Lions.
St. Clair will control the ball now, but did go out of play, and it will be a Mountaineer throw-in. Really, what they've been trying to do tonight so far, we've seen a lot of through balls from them, going on runs and trying to find some runners. And when a Mountaineer defender has not been able to block that pass, it's been pretty effective.
Yeah, they caught a couple of Mountaineer defenders out of position, and that's what led to the disallowed goal. And so far, they've had reasonable success, although only a couple of really dangerous chances have been materialized. Calix with a good bit of defending there.
Great defending there. Claudia Calix, so far this game has been brilliant defensively. The midfield has held very, very strong. As the throw-in comes in and will be played immediately right back to Leah Burrell. Burrell will put it into the middle to Olivito. Olivito tries to cross it in, and the shot is deflected and turned for the very, very good piece of movement right there as the crowd lets her know how happy they are with that.
That's what she was doing all game against Redeemer, just very calm, very collected from the freshman.
Great positioning, great movement. Now that one is sent right back into Mountaineer territory. will be a Mountaineer throw-in. It's a throw-in for the Mountaineers.
Hannah Kelly subbed off, and Rodriguez has come back in the game.
It's her first time getting off, so we'll have to see who takes her spot as the lone striker. Seems to either be Glassbergen or Rodriguez, or maybe a striker partnership. As the Mountaineers lose possession, it is controlled back by Sylvia Sokas, who so far this game has been really good defensively, stopping those through balls. And Gademi, oh,
She couldn't quite get that one through.
very nearly. That would have been a great chance, but now the counterattack coming in from the Saints. It is Victoria Walsh. Tries to cross it in. Will go out of bounds and be a goal kick for Kerr.
That center of the Mohawk defense with Sokaz and Calix is so strong and so steady that there's been really no space in the middle for the St. Clair's attack to get anything going. I mean, they really had to like get Dropper to come almost, across the entire field to get their one opportunity that was a disallowed goal. And other than that, it's been really clean defensively from Mohawk all around.
Yeah, in the two games so far that we've commentated at home, we've only really seen one shot on goal that was very, very close to going in and a great save by Kerr. We haven't seen really teams been able to find cracks in that Mountaineer defense. But as we say that, St. Clair coming right back.
And Mohawk handles it nicely.
They do, and more chance Gademi wants it. No.
And it looked like it chipped a little bit off of the St. Clair defender, but Udemy is not going to be able to argue her case. And
As the
Mountaineer faithful letting the ref know what they think about that goal.
and the ref turns around just smiling back, so all in good fun as
And another throw in for St. Clair.
I think I think he's gonna be hearing that all game. As long as the
Yeah.
calls don't go to the Mountaineers, he'll be hearing that a lot. As Rodriguez did take Kelly's spot up front, not able to reach that one as it is controlled there by St. Clair and blasted away from their goaltender tonight, who is Stephen Fish. So now will be another Mountaineer throw in. So far, the second half of this first half, the second part of it, the Mountaineers have looked a lot better and have controlled a lot more possession throughout the first parts of this game. It felt like the Saints, St. Clair had most of possession. They weren't necessarily creating biggest chances, but they did have a lot of the ball, and the Mountaineers responded really well. They didn't crack under that pressure. Now we'll have to see if they can get that elusive first goal. That one is headed away.
It was a good little
Great
touch
play.
by Gudemi, though, getting it into the middle. Just couldn't quite find somebody on the end of that.
From one touch to another, but that one is out of play there. Great pressure from Glassbergen onto Sierra Lapose.
Glassbergen's had a couple of really good battles in the midfield, usually coming out on the winning side of them.
Calix will put it into Gademi. We saw a lot of flair from her in the last game on Friday against Redeemer. She was one of the few in the women's game that was attempting and succeeding in some brilliant skill moves. So the through ball comes in, but that is clattered and cleared away. Great defending as Rodriguez putting on pressure. Ball back to the goaltender. She's able to put that aside. So now the Saints again with possession, trying to create chances through balls, but that one's given away. Now the Mountaineers on a counterattack. Tries to find Glassbergen, but she just can't control it. Could have had a chance one-on-one with the final defender. As the throw goes into Talia Liberty. She's able to play it back, and it will be controlled now by Oliveto. She attempts the through ball, but great defending again from Sylvia Sokas. She's had a few interceptions already in this first half. Looking very good as that Mountaineer defense. That one is kicked away, trying to find Rodriguez, but she was not moving, so not able to catch up to that one.
Sok has one of those returning veterans on the defensive side, like you said, has been very solid. There's a bit of a collision there. I think that was McClellan ran into St. Clair defender.
Yep, ref lets it play on. Is now great through ball there. Down into the corner is Liberty.
Just nowhere to go with it once again.
Saints have
Mohawk
had
has
that.
played well.
The through balls have been hit a little bit too hard, or they've been hit, and the Mohawk defender's able to intercept it. But they've looked scary at times.
They have, and you have to think this one, just like the last game we called, might come down to, who can convert on that one opportunity because it is so tightly contested and one goal could be the difference in this one.
What do you think the first goal, if there is a goal that is scored, Matt? What do you think it'll be? A corner, penalty?
We have seen Mohawk score quite a few goals as the foreign goes for regulation, but we've seen them score quite a few goals this season off of, like you said, corners and a free kick from Madison Rodriguez. That was quite a spectacular goal. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had some sort of set play like that, maybe even off of a throw-in deep in the St. Clair zone that leads to some sort of bounce and a scramble. So I'm going to go throw, and that's going to be my prediction for maybe in this last couple minutes, or maybe sometime in the second half.
Now it is a Saints throw in. I would assume the ref wouldn't blow the whistle just yet as we've reached the 45th minute here in the first half, but we did have off broadcast an injury for a Mountaineer player, so that did take up 5 minutes. It
Yeah.
was Torres that went down, so definitely we will have a few more minutes in this first half. And if you are St. Clair, I mean, you'll definitely take that as you are in Mountaineer territory right now. So the cross is whipped into the middle. LaRoche and Claire there, making sure that that did not reach a Saint foot. So now the Mountaineers, they can counterattack. Glassbergen getting pressured.
And Hannah Kelly did sub back into the game as the ball goes her way.
And that is
That is the
first
half.
half. Very good first half. Again, both teams started off a bit slow, but picked it up. Still 0-0 here. And Matt, what do you think about that?
I'm gonna like to see Mohawk come out really aggressive. Like I said, I think this one's gonna come down to a one goal difference. I think if they can convert on an opportunity to Hannah Kelly or get Rodriguez in on a free kick within 40, 30 yards, I think early on setting that tone and getting up will really bode well for them winning this game. So I like to see Mohawk come out aggressive.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. And if you're just joining us here again, we apologize for the delays. You had a bit of technical issues, but we are here. It is so far 0-0 between your Mohawk Mountaineer women against St. Clair College, and we will be back shortly.
Because it's shooting ball between cinema funerals and the same office, you better be talking about working in trickles. You know, you just had that lie, but I knew the pole. I the baby, I knew the room. Number three, number two, you ain't know. Yeah. No, 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 you ain't know, man. She did it like a Super Bowl, man. Then it this the biggest, biggest, biggest of Super Bowl. Proceeding to the teams got the flag as they did in the studio. Said they versus back to me, they carried this like studio. Then it was a fire weather when it's lonely. Say it, nigga. Here we go. Really rule fall like a Peter out there and Jerry Ryan in the middle. It was wrong. Girl, you put me a beat. I said that my words start looking too deep. I look at the trees and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock cause I live in the sleep. I still wanna give you a song while I can't trust everything that you say. Cheese. Snow like this, you know, nation, you know that I hit you like I'm on deep. You know, I'm having to fall off the tree again. It's so me. Still getting bigger than you know, the kid from just like a full beat. What as MC. It's kicked out as it probably me. We started in these, but right. Yeah, man, I'm gonna leave. I wanted to go when they connected my motherfucker together. See, when me was the biggest mistake, this is when me was new in that trade. See, we look for moments with the thing and sitting with great. Hang out again, got away from the ball, then let a prisoner stay. Everybody said it's a everybody was a it's strong, but here's the people. Let's go from the brain and let me go around that. We're dreaming of the say, huh?
Everyone, Second half about to get started here. Just joining us, it is between your Mohawk Mountaineers versus St. Clair. So far it is 0-0, but we have the scoop here with Matt.
Yep, Mohawk outshot St. Clair 5-4. Didn't get got outshot in terms of shots on goal with 3-2 in favor of St. Clair, but those two shots from Mohawk were dangerous opportunities. Victoria Kerr looked good, the freshman, in her second ever start. And one thing, St. Clair actually outfouled Mohawk 5-1, so they're going to look to probably clean that up a little bit. No cards were given out, but you never want to be trending in that direction. Lots of good hard physical play, but nothing dirty. But still want to just keep an eye on that, make sure they don't get in any foul trouble, especially when, like we were saying at the end of the last half, it could be a matter of one goal to decide this one.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. For sure. I guess they did count the shot on goals, the ones that went high over the bar. Saw a few of those. I guess they did count as a shot on goals.
Yeah, I think obviously they're not tracking that, but chances for chances, I think Mohawk may have etched out St. Clair just a little bit. I think especially in that second half of the first half, they were the ones really putting the pressure on. They had the possession for sure.
Yes, we get ready to get going here as the sides have switched. The sun has left us. He is gone, so it is going to get a little bit darker in here and definitely a little bit colder as the Saints will control the ball. Start it off. We'll see what both head coaches said to their teams. Definitely want to clean up the sloppy play and start creating more shots on net as really neither keeper has been tested.
Yeah, and they just haven't had a real connection in a dangerous area. I mean, there was a couple of moments where Gudemi had a header at the end of the first half that just didn't quite find, Hannah Kelly or Rodriguez on the end of that. And that's kind of been the story of the whole game for both sides. A lot of good build-ups, but just not really finding anyone on the end of these through balls and headers and throw-ins and what have you. So I think whoever connects on the first one, that could really be the difference here.
Would definitely agree with you there, Matt. As the Saints control possession again, the Mountaineers in a press, but not necessarily going all out, doing a good job of forcing the Saints into making mistakes like we just saw that one as Claudia Calix. It's a great interception. Now Gademi finds Rodriguez, tries to do a little bit of a give and go, but it was just out of reach.
The touch pass did look nice, but they couldn't quite keep the momentum rolling.
Natalie Kersey with the ball, and she actually had the only goal in the first half that was ruled offside.
Yeah, she had a little tap in on the back door, but like you said, did not count. So we sit at 0-0.
Yep. Clean sheet for Kerr in back-to-back games stays alive for now. As the Saints trying to deal with that Mountaineer pressure. So they are going not necessarily all out, but doing a very good job of staying with the ball and staying with St. Clair's a very nice tackle there by Grace McKellen, but St. Clair recover and now control the ball. As you see the St. Clair head coach telling them push forward, as they're having a lot of the ball, but similar to the first half, they're not really doing much with it.
Hannah Kelly up there at the front with Rodriguez and Gudemi supporting her, but she is the lone striker up front, as we saw in the beginning of the first half.
Great steal there by LaRoche.
Oh, and she goes down hard. We'll see.
Yep.
And she's still down.
Yes, there it is. The first card that we've seen with these women. I felt like the ref in the last game, I thought he did a good job. I didn't think anything deserved a card, but that one definitely card for Natalie Kersey. So we'll keep an eye on her to see if she does get that second yellow. As will be a free kick now for the Mountaineers from their own zone.
And we saw that in the last game too. McClellan not afraid to get in there and take a bit of a tackle if she has to, and she draws a card there. So
it was her and LaRoche that were really the ones getting really a lot of the contact, a lot of the fouls. So now that ball's going to be hit down. It will be controlled to the Saints, but the pressure from Kelly and
almost forced a dangerous turnover there.
Not the best touch there from the goalie in Seethan Fish. Geez, that was almost a great chance for Hannah Kelly. Some great pressure from her as Fish again controlling it, and this time she'll get it off. to her right back with ease. So now Kersey, as the Mountaineers' pressure continues, and I've got to say they've done a great job of it so far in this second half. The ball's controlled and passed off by Collins. The Saints trying to create something, trying to find open space. Great through ball coming in from Levito. And now on their first real attack of the second half, a great give and go there from Walsh. The cross just will go wide, and Kerr will control and will get the goal kick.
That was good discipline and spacing from that Mohawk defense. That's what's kind of shut down all these St. Clair attacks. They've really kind of held their ground and have not given them an inch in terms of space in the middle. Lots of balls going down into the corners and going out for goal kicks, but just no space for the St. Clair team to really get a dangerous cross in.
They haven't really found that last big play. See if the Mountaineers can continue their great play at the end of at the end of the first half, where they seemed almost destined to get a really good chance. They will get a throw in. Good throw into Kelly as it will be headed off, but stays in play. Now Glassbergen deflects it, but it will be taken back. And Collins will send it forward, and now the Saints on a counterattack. Claudia Calix hits it, but it ends up in the middle. The through ball trying to find Kersey. Great pressure from McKellen, and she does steal it away. Great defending, and now McKellen, she has options. She'll try to play the through ball to Kelly. Collins is right there with her, with Kersey there as well.
And that one's going to dribble out for a St. Clair throw in. Hannah Kelly just couldn't quite win the race for the ball, but that was a good idea by McClellan there
Great
with the
defending
pass.
from her. Great interception. So,
Ball getting tossed in.
So far from what we said at the end of the first half, Matt, of wanting to see the Mountaineers with more pressure, they've definitely delivered. We'll see if it can turn into a goal. So now that one is passed back from Schwartz. As Sokas gives it back to McKellen. And she just smacked it across the St. Clair right there.
Good heart there shown.
Natalia Liberti that takes one into the thigh. Definitely not the best feeling. But
No, took it in stride though. That's
she did.
Alex with a through ball.
Trying to find Kelly. Collins is there. Jesus, they've done that a few times now.
They
passing
have.
it back to the goalie. Seemed, I think, a little bit safer than what I thought it was going to be, but after that last one,
No, there's no real slow buildups from this Mohawk midfield. They are just getting the ball, and let's see if they do it again with Schwartz here. They're just trying to find Kelly in some open space and see if they can get a goal on the board here as we're still 0-0 in the 51st minute of the game.
I was about to say, as soon as you said that, no buildup, they did the exact same thing, and I was hoping that you were a prophet and you were predicting a goal.
I did not, but there's still time left.
Still time left, indeed. We'll have to see. That one is hit into the air. Rodriguez, I guess, thought I was going to be collected, but she'll pressure Kersey. It'll be played back and given across. Now Kersey controlling again. The only woman on the pitch with a yellow card. Now the Saints creating their chance.
I do have some numbers here.
Great attempt there, but that will be just out of reach as Walsh tried to play a big through ball for Jessica Dole, but it's out of play and will be a Mountaineer throw-in.
I'd like to see them get Rodriguez a little bit more involved in the attack here. Obviously, we know Hannah Kelly is capable of finishing those, and they haven't quite been able to connect with her, but we've seen Rodriguez. I mean, she has a goal and 2 assists in their last couple of games, and I'd like to see them look her way a few more times here as they really haven't had a good chance quite yet in this half. Maybe some more room on her side of the pitch.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can create their first chance. They've had good counterattacks, but it hasn't led to a shot on goal yet, as now Gademi has it. She tries to get around. Big shove there. Coming from Leah Burrell, as the fans letting the ref know what they think should happen.
Don't think that's going to warrant a card,
As
like
they
you
asked
said.
the linesman if he saw it too, and he obliges. Does not warrant a card, just a shove. Usually that won't be a foul as Rodriguez will take this free kick, as we said on last
This
Friday.
one may be a little far for her to go on goal, but hey, why not?
Too far for Rodriguez to think about. That won't be headed off, but hey, still Mountaineers possession. As now Schwartz will just pass it back to Sokaz. Sokaz, nice couple moves, and why not? Don't force anything. Pass it right back to Dropper. Dropper tries to find Glassbergen, but it will be intercepted. And now St. Clair on the counterattack. What a tackle right there.
Droppert has really been a real solid anchor on that right side of the defense.
That
She
was
is,
just satisfying to watch.
I mean,
That-
it's just, I think last week she had a tackle and we said, put that one down in the dictionary for textbook, clean tackling. And she just had another one there that could go right alongside it.
I didn't know any better. I think we're at like a slip and slide. That was perfect. Now the Mountaineers will regain possession with a throw in. So we have a lot of fans here today, as we had last Friday. A lot of energy, especially coming today from all the other Mountaineers from different sports across the college, across our campus. This will be a free kick for St. Clair back into their zone. This is where they've had most of the ball. I'd say in the start the second half, they've had a few better chances than the
Alex was having none of that as she couldn't quite get it away, but she definitely stopped the momentum that St. Clair was building.
Now Liberty finds Kersey. She tries to get the cross.
Oh, and that was a bit of a breakdown. We don't see that too often from this Mohawk Mountaineers defense, but like I said, Calix tried to clear and it just kind of dribbled out to the wing in the worst possible spot for him.
Similar to the offside goal that was disallowed.
Eerily similar. It was pretty much the same play that was disallowed before.
This time it's Kersey with the cross. Couple deflections. It clearly hit off a Mountaineer foot and then a St. Clair foot and then ended up in the back of the net to make it 1-0 for St. Clair here as the Mountaineers find themselves in an
Just couldn't-
unfamiliar situation.
Nope, they haven't been down here. They haven't conceded a goal in this stadium before, and Dole had the first goal against at St. Mary's. So Mohawks are going to need some kind of response here. I don't think you want to let St. Clair drain too much of the clock down. You're going to want to really get the pressure on as St. Clair is back on the attack.
The only difference from last game on Friday when the Mountaineers scored, it was about the 70th minute, so we were already thinking about, will they park the bus? Still, this one, the second half has just begun. We've only been through about 10 minutes as that goal was scored by Jessica Dole on a cross-in by Natalie Kersey to make it 1-0 for the Saints. As you said, Matt, we'll see if the Mountaineers can respond, and if they would, you want to respond as early as possible, unless you do what the men's side did on last Friday and score in the 90th minute.
I think if you ask the head coach of the Mountaineers, I do not think he's going to want them to leave it as Victoria Crow. It's a good little save. Oh, sorry, it's Victoria Crow with a nice save. But yeah, I don't think they'll be wanting to wait too long. Although they would definitely take some last minute heroics if that's what it is going to come down to.
They'll take anything they can, as like you said, Kerr with a good save. Could have been another crossing opportunity for the Saints, but they opt for the shot. So now the Mountaineers, can Rodriguez make that? She cannot. It will be a St. Clair throw-in.
Rodriguez has done a good job breaking up some throw-ins so far, but the ball does not go her way.
You hear there the head coach of the Mountaineers yelling, make that final pass, and that is really what they are missing. This dropper, it's a good tackle as it goes through, and it is offside.
And the Mountaineers players giving the ref some applause this time, as he's not had too many favorable cheers from the Mountaineers student section, but they're happy with an offside to stop that St. Clair attack.
Now, the referee did blow his whistle. I think he's saying he wasn't ready. Maybe a
Yeah, I
false
think
start.
that was a procedural error there by Droppert, who was just a little eager to get the kick off.
Be now LaRoche will do the free kick. Have to see what the Mountaineers can do. They haven't really had a good chance in this second half. Still early, obviously, but I would love for them to get going.
Lots of vets on this Mountaineers team. I'm not worried about them responding, but you're definitely going to want to see them keeping that pressure on, especially down a goal now. They're going to need to find a way to make that last connection, like you can hear the coach yelling right now.
He's been a lot more vocal in the second half, obviously, since St. Clair have taken the first lead with the first goal of the match. They found the ball, a little bit of pushing and shoving there, not a lot of ball movement because of it.
Claudia Calix got right up into that attack there and helped cause a free kick for Rodriguez, which is again a little far for her to think on goal, but hey,
I think it's in the same spot as the last one.
I think so.
Again, too far for Rodriguez to think about it, or maybe in the exact spot she wants it to
She's
be.
going to take a good long run up for this. Or
She's having
having a conversation with the coach. I thought she was going to take a 10 stride run up and really take a good go at goal here, but
maybe a tactical conversation. Definitely a crossing opportunity here if she can hit it well. Even a shot.
they've got just about everybody down in that box, so they're going to look for any kind of scramble
Definitely, it's
to convert on.
a wall of two for St. Clair's. It will be a cross, deflected, and not a bad effort. We'll have to see whose ball it is, and it is Mountaineer balls. It hit off a St. Clair head.
That was LaRoche. That was almost on the end of that crossing, but not quite.
Was hit very well by Rodriguez. She got into play, and that will create another chance for the Mountaineers.
And there'll be another throw in for Mohawk in the offensive end. Taking quick towards Dropper. Or
That's a cross in there. The header just missed. It's another good chance for the Mountaineers. They've seemed to find some life since letting in that goal. We'll have to see if they can continue to generate. But now the Saints come right back, but that is cleared and vitally cleared away by Dropper.
Get that out of here. She had none of that.
She did not have any of that. And I think with what you just said, I think that's how she reacted in terms of the ball, because that was launched away. Did not want to allow the chances. Kelly does come back to put on some pressure, but it just seems like the Mountaineers can't get the ball. And as I say that, they do. Steal it away, tries to find Rodriguez in the middle. A great pass. And now it will be controlled by Sylvia Cook. She puts it in front to Rodriguez. A very nice pass, just can't get through. But now Gademi has it. Gademi tries to find Kelly with the through ball.
And she was offside, and she looks a little frustrated with that one, but that was the best through ball I think we've seen. Gudemi really put that in a spot that Kelly could have gotten to. She was just one stride out of pace with the defender.
So close.
But
so
close. That was the most dangerous looking build-up they've had, I'd say, since the goal against.
Definitely, as Sylvia Socas found Rodriguez there, found Gudemi, and nearly had their first shot on goal, the Mountaineers, in this second half.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Mountaineers made a couple of substitutions here, get some fresh legs in. No one's... Well, one player actually looks like they're maybe heading down to the end to warm up a little bit, but you might want a little bit of juice as they've been a lot of back and forth action here in the second half.
It's been nearly 20 minutes, so we'll have to see. Still, in respect to the coaching of the Mountaineers, still early in the second half, but definitely we'll have to see if they have a substitution as Kelly putting on pressure on Collins again. That has been the matchup so far in the St. Clair end, but not gone Kelly's way just yet. St. Clair control again. Kersey, who has the assist today, does kick it in the corner, as that will be a giveaway and a Mountaineers throw in as McKellen.
She wants to take that quick, and she does.
Very smart move from her to Rodriguez. She will cross it in just past Glassbergen. Now Collins going a little bit forward here. She passes it down the side. Now the Saints coming right back, but that is just out of reach. Cleared immediately by Dropper. She tried to find Glassbergen, but given away is now St. Clair. Get their chance. Some great tackles from Dropper and then Claudia Calix to get the interception. Now Rodriguez calling for it from Gudemi and nearly the ball in it. A really good run. The first couple runs we've seen other than Hannah Kelly from Mountaineers.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to spread it around a little more, get some other people involved, and so far, oh, as Kelly's going to have a bit of space here with the ball.
Well, the giveaway there by Lassard.
Oh, and that was nearly another goal for Rodriguez as she had a good look at the net, but it's just not the touch they wanted.
I think it is a corner
Yeah,
for the
it
Mountaineers.
must have
Let's
deflected
verify.
off of that St. Clair defender because she was practically in alone there, although obviously marked well by St. Clair.
We'll have to see if the corner will result in a chance for Mohawk. Big moment in this game. If you're just joining us, it is 1-0 St. Clair's. The corner comes in.
Oh,
And I tell you what, from our angle, I thought it was going in after it hit the goalkeeper's hands.
yeah, it looks like she just couldn't quite handle it and it almost dribbled in, but they were able to shut that down as Mohawk had another chance at it too. As LaRoche was able to throw it back on net, but nothing going, unfortunately.
Not that time, but a very, very good offensive display coming from the Mountaineers. Sadly, didn't result in a goal, but I'm sure we'll be happy with that.
Oh, and that'll be a whistle, no doubt. There might be. You just don't like seeing the contact when players go up in the air like that. Just a warning from the ref, though.
I think right there, I think Oliveto there thought that McKellen was going to slide tackle her with the ball. That's why she jumped. But McKellen instead was just going for a tackle. So then it looked very awkward in the air as Oliveto will have the free kick. Great chance for the Saints. It is struck, but right at the head of Mountaineer defenders. Again, McKellen goes into the air this time.
And the ball is just following her around like a magnet as she had the header to get it out, and then the ball found her way to her again.
Tried to make a pass there into Kelly, but it looks more like a clearance as now the Saints will have a substitution coming in.
Number 13 coming out of the game for St. Clair. That's going to be Liberty.
I think the ref was a bit confused of who was coming off because she went off onto another side as will be a throw-in for the Saints. It will be oh, actually the ref decides he didn't like the way that ball was thrown in and it will be a turnover in Mountaineers ball. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but I'm not going to complain as now the Mountaineers will control his dropper into the corner.
That's Alexis
Glassbergen.
Constantine who came in for St. Clair on that exchange.
Glassbergen finds Solars as Shores tries to find someone as Rodriguez. Gives it back to him.
Oh,
And
no whistle.
spread that wasn't a whistle. Now here's a very good chance. It's Constantine straight off the bench finds Kersey. She will try to cross it in. It's deflected, but it
Oh,
ends up. The Saints right.
and Dropper got a little bit of that cross. It almost resulted in a dangerous play, but
I know, isn't that
For-
weird?
for-
The defense blocking it created a better chance. Like you can't even be mad at Dropper for
no,
blocking that.
not at all.
Because she probably thought the chance would have been created by not dropping it.
And Grace McClellan not pleased with that call. And she's going to have a talking to is after the throw-in was over or the throw-in was overturned as a free kick, she vocalized her displeasure quite emphatically, and now she's going to get a bit of a warning.
Yeah, but no, maybe just
No, just
frustration.
frustration. And I think as long as it just maintains at that level, she won't get a card, but she did get a little bit of a settle down there from the ref.
I
think.
doubt she heard any of that with what the Mountaineers faithful.
No, no, I don't think so.
This Kersey again against McKellen. That has been the battle down the flanks. Some great pressure from her. Now Claudia Calix does clear it right to a Mountaineer, but just out of reach of Glassbergen. The Saints will control once again, as it is Burrell who gives it away, and now the Mountaineers come right back as LaRoche crosses to Kelly if she's onside, but it's just out of reach again. It seems like we've said that a lot, as the Mountaineers can't seem to find that last pass. Now St. Clair come right back. The touch a bit too hard. Some great defending there from Sylvia Sokas. And that won't be blasted away by McKellen into Kelly, who was pushed as
Ended up
Demi looked for the foul. No call.
ended up being a bit of a good touch actually, as it went right back to Rodriguez, but it really was the St. Clair player pushing
And now
Kelly into that one.
Kelly might be through. And from our angle, I thought she had it, but just again out of her reach as it will be controlled by St. Clair.
We're starting to sound like a bit of a broken record up here, Harrison.
We are. I mean, I don't know what else, how other way I should phrase it, but it's always out of her reach. It's unfortunate. It's now St. Clair with possession once again as Levito passes it back to Collins. Collins getting some pressure from Glassbergen. Will be put down into the corner and controlled by Burrell. Burrell puts it forward now. The Saints. St. Clair look for their famous through ball or cross. The cross is in. Deflected to Olivito. Blocked. She gets it right back as someone was screaming. Maybe for handball. Looked like it hit a Mountaineer back.
I think it might have been actually the elbow of Sokaz that made most of the contact, but obviously
We'll keep it quiet and say it was her back. As
the ref maybe having a equipment question here with the St. Clair
another
defender, and she might have to
interesting-
come off the field here.
two interesting whistles from the ref. One was to say I didn't like that throw in, so Mountaineer ball, and then now seems to be an equipment issue as
Yeah, they're gonna have to make a quick sub here. It looked like he was pointing to the shin pad. I couldn't really tell, or it may have been the cleat, but to me it looked like there was something wrong with the shin pads.
must be a shin pad problem as Hannah Kelly is getting some words here and must have been a talk with Mountaineers coaching staff because if you're just joining us, still 1-0 St. Clair. Their goal came in the second half, early in the second half, off a cross from Kersey. And, we're heading into the 70th minute still. About 20 minutes to go in this game. So still plenty of time, but again, I want to see a Mountaineer response sooner rather than later. Lockdown and foul is called onto Glassbergen. Now Gademi will take the free kick and will be Rodriguez again in literally the same spot.
Yeah, she's had a couple of opportunities from here to get it in. A couple of almost good ones, but like we've been saying all day, almost is not going to be good enough, unfortunately.
Rodriguez whips it in, will be blocked. There's just a bit low. Now St. Clair on a counter attack. Great chance for them, but that seems to be out of reach, and McKellen will hit it away. And good defending from her as it was St. Clair with the numbers there. As a sub will be coming in for the Mountaineers.
Like Udemi's getting, or Dropper must have had a brief break there. She's back on.
Little water break as
She makes a good play instantly after getting back on the field.
Glassbergen is pushed off the ball by Burrell. Burrell to the middle to Constantine. She'll try to find Kersey, but will be blocked by McKellen. She is fouled. That could be the second yellow. That could be. Is it the second yellow? Out of all the tackles, that was a jumping tackle.
At least the talking to here.
No second yellow. See,
No, not reaching for that card, but a long discussion.
I'm surprised he wouldn't give the talking to before in the first tackle, and then this one you get the yellow.
Yellow. I think the other one was
Maybe worse.
maybe a little bit worse, although there was not much ball
It wasn't
at all on that.
intent to
No,
injure, but it
definitely
was
not.
intent
But
to don't get this out of the
yeah,
zone.
yeah.
Want to see the ref, as you said, did give a talking to Kersey, who has the assist tonight, has played well, but she is on a yellow card. That's why I think the crowd there, the Mountaineers faithful, were looking to see if she would get that second yellow. So again, she's in a one-on-one against McKellen. This has been a battle in the second half. As Rodriguez does come to help her out. Deflects as Kelly will now pressure there, but it is kicked away by Lassard. And another foul committed by St. Clair. And a sub will come in for them.
And I wonder if Kersey will come off just in terms of foul. Oh, not definitely not, but She has played well. You wouldn't want to see her come off the pitch, but you also don't want to, especially when you're up 1-0 lot. Oh no, she is going off. Excuse me. Sorry, she was going around the other way there.
I don't know, they've done that a few times.
They've done that a few times, but yeah, I think that's purely just to make sure you're not getting into a position where you are down a player and Mohawk's gonna have some life, breathe back into them.
Yeah,
Uh,
a
but
red card would be very bad because at least in last Friday's games with the men, when um Redeemer got a red card, it was like the 92nd minute. You get a red card in the 70th minute, and the
that's a
team
little
that's losing, you're
that's a
playing with
shot in the
fire.
arm for
You're
sure.
playing with fire there, and definitely a shot of adrenaline in the arm, as it is.
However, the headset is not overly configured, and the headset is not open to properly. Basically,
Olavito does sub on for Kersey. Yeah, St. Clair control possession again as Lassard puts it into Constantine. It is Lopo, sorry, it is taken away by Schwartz.
Shores with another great play.
Kademi in a tough situation loses the ball. Now Saints come right back as Tallis tries to cross it in. Kicked away by Socas to Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking for help. Finds Schwartz. Schwartz finds her teammate.
Oh, Rodriguez actually seems to be in a little discomfort. She's kind of
Limping away.
limping down the field there. I'm not sure if there was just a tweak on her ankle or what, but seems to be something wrong. She stays on the pitch for the moment.
Mountaineer throw in as LaRoche will be taking this one. Bit too far to throw it into the box as she's still able to put it down into the corner as Burrell will clear it away. Claudia Calix with a great tackle, but sadly not able to get the ball back. But that one is given away. Sokaz will pass it back to Calix. Calix will just put it down for corner to McKellen as the crowd tries to show some energy.
McClellan with a nice break up there.
Back with Rodriguez. Goes goal.
Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her leg at all, to be honest, Harrison. She seemed to be limping before, but
I think that was a heat check to see if everything's okay.
I think so. I think she's like, I gotta let this one fly. I tweaked it a little bit.
It's either a good shot and I feel good, or oh damn, something's wrong.
Some time to go off. But
Yeah,
considering that was from behind the half line, that was a fairly
not a bad
that was
shot.
honestly their best their best chance in the last little bit anyway.
for sure. We'll see if she'll go for it again as she's just giving away the ball as Rodriguez tried to find.
And this time there is something wrong, and she seems to be in quite a bit of discomfort. And that's not
Might
something
have stepped on her foot.
might have.
Might have, because there was no tackle there. Might have stepped on Rodriguez's foot as Sierra Lopez.
I don't think there was a, and she's getting. It might even be a cramping situation as she's getting a little bit of help from her teammate there. But someone who's been a real star player for them early on, you hate to see him go down, especially when you're trying to look for any sort of offense, and your number one offensive producer so far is probably having to be out of the game for at least a little while.
You definitely don't want her to be down like that for long. You want her to keep playing to stay on as we will have a water break and a discussion coming in here from the Saints. St. Clair would obviously love to hold on to this 1-0 victory as the Mountaineers will get water and definitely have a talking with their head coach there, Paul Giamini. I wonder what he is saying. His squad.
You wonder if they'd change tactics offensively speaking. I mean, we've had a couple of close-ish calls coming, on those through balls to Hannah Kelly, but you wonder if there will be if they'll be holding on to the ball and looking to build up for one really good chance as opposed to firing them down and not really finding much on the end of them. And there's going to be a couple of changes here. Not surprised at this point. Now they will look to get some fresh legs in the game, not only to replace Rodriguez, but it looks like there'll be one or two new Mountaineers coming onto the field.
You're right with that. I was going to say it seemed the ref indicated there that a injury sub for Rodriguez would come in as we await that to happen, but all this time will not go to waste as we will get it all back in the 90th minute once that arrives. And still, you're just joining us, still 1-0 for St. Clair. Is we await Rodriguez to get back to her feet. Cramps can be absolutely brutal and may have gotten stepped on as well.
This is the second Mohawk player to go down in this game. Bernardo Torres went down after an awkward fall, and now Rodriguez is going to be helped off the field as well. So
Might be worse than a cramp.
it might be. She looks like she needs a little bit more than just one person to assist her. She's got both trainers helping her off and not headed towards the bench, although maybe they're taking
The long way.
the long way around. Although you'd hope they wouldn't make her take the long way around for an injury, but we'll see.
Hopefully she'll be doing okay, and hopefully she'll be able to return. As we said, one of the better
Absolutely,
Mohawk
better
players.
players so far, and you can just hope that it's nothing serious, and she'll be back on the field because we love to watch her, and her teammates love playing with her.
Also, quickly, Lovers will be giving her a lot of praise. It's a free kick from McKellen. Gonna come in here again, not in an area where you'd think you'd go for goal. But maybe an area to try to get it into the box.
I'd look for something short, but oh,
She's going
that
for the
one's
box.
going for the box.
Great header there, and cleared away by St. Clair. The SoCals will just pass it back to Dropper.
Looks like they've shifted around some of the position. I think that's Gudemi playing further back than she normally would.
Bad pass there by Dropper, creating a St. Clair chance, but a good recovery from her. Some good pressure, but the cross does come in, and a scary chance, a scary moment that is still scary, but SoCas able to clear it away as some great play there by Alexis Constantine, creating that cross. As it will be a St. Clair throw-in.
So they have another St. Clair sub coming in, as they've made quite a few this half.
Have.
I don't believe they had made one in the first half, so looking to keep the bodies fresh as they try to drain out this last 10 minutes and maybe get an extra little insurance marker here down in the Mohawk end.
You definitely would want that as we're down the 80th minute, heading into the 81st, still 1-0 for St. Clair. And the Mountaineers get a last minute tying goal. If that sounds familiar, it's because it happened last week in the men's game.
Yeah, we saw it. They were a very similar narrative actually to the game where they had good moments but weren't really ever connecting with Torres on the men's team, and then
They did.
right in the box there was a scramble and they tied it up with in dramatic fashion. So maybe the women can pull off a similar sort of arc here.
So are you saying that Hannah Kelly's going to tie this game in the 90th minute?
I mean, hey, crazier things have happened, but
I
she's
agree.
gonna maybe get a little run for it here as we speak. Oh, not quite enough juice on the pass across.
Few of those passes, they just seem so close, and then they're just out of reach of the Mountaineers. Is now the Saints trying to create their own chances. Burrell tries to cross it in. It is blocked, and it does arrive to that substitute. That is Cadence Tram getting her first couple minutes of this game. Now the Saints still controls LaPose. Tries to cross it in and is out of reach. And Burr will make a diving stop to make sure that did not end up into the feet of Victoria Wolf. She will blast that one away with the drop kick. Tried to find Glassbergen. Is Claudia Calix able to deflect that away as Glassbergen with the touch of the header, but it is out of Kelly's reach into Burrell. Burrell will launch it right back right away. It's now St. Clair. Probably what they're trying to do is make sure the Mountaineers don't have any of this ball.
No, they're gonna want to hold on to possession and really they got to make sure they play clean in the midfield and they haven't. Another one out to Walsh is another good ball. She's had a couple good dangerous moments in this game.
She has been. McKellen doing a great job, great pressure, but it will be a corner for St. Clair, and they will take their sweet, sweet time with taking this one.
This is not the position you want to be in if you're Mountaineers at the moment. The last goal was essentially across from a location that wasn't a corner, but in similar area. So you know that they can score from here anyway.
It's a great cross, but it's just off of the head, and now it will be kept in by St. Clair. A great play there.
Yeah, it looks like Cal's kind of pulled up a little bit, maybe trying to err on the more safe side and
I
be in
think
good defense position. But I think you got to go for that and try to spring somebody.
she must have been, because our angle's a bit different. She must have known she couldn't make it, and she must have thought that the cross was going to come in immediately. So she tried to block it. So now the shot on
Oh, off the post. And that's now coming right back to her.
that shot, that one's in the air, and Curry's down.
We'll see what the call is. There was definitely some contact.
Gotta be a foul.
Gotta be a foul. And that's the yellow card. Yep. Good call. That was the right call by the ref.
Like, if you are like there, that was Victoria, the dangerous challenge late in this game. I get it, you're trying to get that insurance goal, but that was easily been a
Right. I think, especially when you're going up, I mean, challenging the goalie like that. It's
late in this game.
late in the game.
You're not gonna
That's
give the ref,
no.
a chance to give you a red card.
Especially when there's already been some foul trouble on that St. Clair side. That was a nice touch by
It was.
Sokaz there.
Yes.
Moved the ball up, but it got snuffed out by St. Clair pretty quick.
Sadly, it did. Now St. Clair control. The cross is in. Big block there, but Mountaineers not creating offensive chances right now with the time ticking. But trying to find a through ball to Glassbergen, but it is controlled by Collins and will be cleared away immediately. But the pressure from McKellen, so that one is given away. And now St. Clair come right back. It is Constantine with the through ball. A chance maybe to seal it.
Oh, and Walsh's chance just
We will give barely for that save. And it is a corner, so she got a piece of it. A game-saving save to keep this still a one-goal game. As Walsh, just as you said, Matt, just missed.
just missed. It looked dangerous. I thought it dribbled wide. I guess the tender made a bit of
I think Kerr did tip it.
maybe with her just a fingertip even, but still
Must have. Is that
saved the
cross?
game.
It's great and
Oh,
just missed it.
now there's a St. Clair player down.
It's Lassard who caught it in the nose
Yeah,
because it did not look like it hit
yeah.
the top of her head.
There must be some blood as, or at least some concern as the ref
Immediately.
motioned for the trainer.
We will now await. So, geez, how much time is going to be?
I'm not
Is it
sure.
10 minutes?
This will be unfortunately the third player to leave the game due to injury, which you never want to see.
Yeah, there must be a little bit of problems. It did not look like it hit the top of her head. Because
No,
that could have been easily a goal. That
that
was a
could have
great
been easily a
clearance
goal.
and some great movement from her.
But you want to be very safe. Any contact to the face and head, you just want to, especially if the player seems rattled immediately after. You want to err on the side of caution always.
She seems to be all right. Just maybe a bloody nose
Yep,
is
up on her own power and
Brianna Kimski Klo. She will be subbed off. It's now the time. We're into the 87th minute now. St. Clair still pressing while being up.
Slellen with a huge boot.
Great boot, and now that ball will not be left to Glassbergen or Kelly, as again, the Mountaineers can't seem to find any offense in these last 10 minutes. As a great ball is in there, but Kerr is there to make a vital save, and she will throw it immediately out.
That was a nicely placed toss.
It was as the crowd urges the Mountaineers on.
That'll be a Mountaineers throw-in, deflected off of the St. Clair defender.
We'll take that as finally something positive offensively, as the crowd is back into this one. Can the Mountaineers find the tying goals? McKellen will let that one go out for a throw. She'll throw it right back in. That one is to the side.
Henriquez, whose name she hasn't played the full game, but she came in for Rodriguez there.
He has now great chances.
Glassbergen.
Messes it off, and that touch is just too much. As Anna Kelly could not get some good contact on that one. As McKellen will now another throw, and she's had really good ones as of late. That will be off. Sokaz will pass it back. Dropper. LaRoche. on the side, trying to get through the tackle. Still controlling, passes it down. The cross into the middle to Glassbergen. Glassbergen tried to find Shores, but that is just out of reach and will be cleared away again. But Dropper continuing the pressure. And that one is just clattered down in the corner as a battle is now going to be underway. A foot race as it just out of Sylvia Socas's range. The cross coming
Oh,
in.
McClellan moved into the middle there to make a. Or was that LaRoche? My apologies. LaRoche made a great play in the middle of that defense to stop that St. Clair attack.
Claudia Calix. That one was crossed into Glassbergen. Did look like she was pressed into that ball
All right.
by Burrell.
This is gonna be this could be the moment. If there's gonna be some last minute dramatics, we could have it off of a free kick in a dangerous, close to dangerous spot, let's call it.
Sadly, no Rodriguez this time.
No.
Again in the same spot. Big free kick. I think
And
Benny-
everyone is literally everyone except for McClellan who's gonna kick this one in is
even Kerr
down at
might
the
go
bo-
in there.
she looks like she wants to.
Wouldn't that be something as cross comes in softly. Just misses a head.
Robert's gonna try to keep this one alive.
She does.
Second chance at
The
it.
crowd says do it again. She does. On net this
Oh.
time.
Nicely hit though.
You gotta say, after the first one being short, she made sure to not leave that one short on net.
Definitely not.
Sadly, a save, as now we are in the 90th minute. We'll have to see how much time exactly the ref has added. I would assume about 8 minutes.
You'd think with the injury stoppage that it would be a healthy amount of time, and we did have also, foul trouble for St. Clair that added some stoppage time. So
Few discussions. The Mountaineers faithful tried to rally their squad, but that one is just out of reach and will be just kicked away as St. Clair will play defense for the last few minutes of this game. Do we have a game-winning or game-tying goal?
Throw-in's going to go St. Clair's way there. Not what Mohawk wants, as they were building something.
Seems to get just tougher and tougher for them here. The throw-in just be taken away and kicked away as it goes through, but Dropper luckily is the last woman to be there. That one is given away and she goes for the tackle. And 50-50 there, but
Yeah,
she does win it.
she atoned for that. There was a bit of a poor pass on her part out to LaRoche, but she atoned for that and made the good tackle to.
Socas looking, she needs to find someone to drop her. Just pass it back to Kerr, but they gotta go. She will blast that one away, but it will be immediately taken by St. Clair. The touch is sent forward and will be out of play.
You got to think they're. I mean, we don't know exactly how much extra time's left, but there's going to only be about 2 or 3 more rushes here for Mohawk. So it is a now or never moment.
Running out of time. It's now Socas trying to find someone. Looking for a through ball.
Oh,
It is
Demi
not
was
there.
almost on the end of that.
And that one will be taken away. And now St. Clair looking to put on the finishing touches and just continue to put the ball in Mountaineer territory, wasting more time.
And there's going to be a throw-in for St. Clair. That took an unfortunate bounce.
Substitution for them as well as Kersey will come back into the game. She is on a yellow, but she had a few minutes there to calm herself.
Pretty safe putting her out there in extra time anyway. Worst case, you're not going to be playing down a man for long. She'll take the throw-in.
St. Clair now will just control the ball. The Mountaineers have to press. They have to put all of their energy into this as the time continues to tick on them in this game. Will it be a very solid win for St. Clair, or can the Mountaineers find a way, a miracle, and pull the rabbit out of its hat with a late leveler? But that does not seem to be the case as of right now. It's Wolf with a throw in, continuing to burn the clock. Throw in is put in there. St. Clair just doing a very good job of holding the ball in the corner. The cross then comes in. A great clearance to keep that out, but they got to turn defense into offense. It is cleared away to Kelly. Kelly cannot make the turn against Burrell. It can't get the ball back as that one will be kept in, but now the Mountaineers have it. Tries to put it into Glassbergen, immediately cleared away. And again, Mohawk seem to be going for last minute Hail Mary passes, but it is not working out as Walsh puts the ball
Oh,
in.
dangerous cross by Walsh. Almost iced it for good.
Surprise, there was no slide into the ball there.
No, and that's, I mean, if that one went in and the disallowed
That
goal
was
went in, that would have been 3 goals in the exact same fashion, essentially.
I saw the ref looking at his watch, still not calling it, so there must be added time as the Mountaineers do have the ball. Can someone get open? Not yet, as again, these through balls are not working well for them as the two women up top and Hannah Kelly and Glassbergen are just outnumbered. So that one is back to Kurz. The crowd is wanting to see a chance as the ref continues to look at his watch. Gotta be thinking that this one is almost done. Mohawk have got to put more pressure. That is a free kick. They've got to get going here.
It's got to be taken quick.
Moses Dropper tries to make the move around. It is cleared away. But that'll just be cleared right back. And again, they can't seem to find the right passes. They haven't been able to find them in the last 10 minutes. That's Kerr with it. Passes down the corner. Not a great touch, and that will be out of play.
Nope. And that will be it. Off the unfortunate bounce off Enriquez. That will be the end of the game. A hard-fought game. A few players went down from injury, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, they could not find that final connection and make that last pass.
Unfortunate result for the Mountaineers, who played really well, especially in the beginning of that second half, but seemed to run out of gas at the end there. They will lose 1-0 to St. Clair, whose undefeated season continues.
And Mohawk's gonna fall to 2-1-1. Still be in, good position in the standings, but never feels good to lose your first game at home in a new stadium and your first, regulation loss of the season.
Definitely not, as we will have handshakes coming on here, and we will get ready for our next game between the same two schools, except it will be the men. If you're just joining us, final score was 1-0 for St. Clair. We will be back in about 10 minutes with the men's game. Thank you all.
I'm not gonna hit him with fucking credit card like you were doing. As you killed him when I'm in the city, I didn't know what I need. Just a street. And a reaper, my day was way big. You took off on the side, will be for problem. The vision, the world of things, and then something need them to get in. Keep on smart, so keep it the way they got the baby. For a real top, the real story. You make it, faith, or even in the book that you I mean, you would know the minutes, oh, taking you like this. Stand by so right here, like this. I'm still talking out of the quality of the lyric, like, what you're playing, you salmon, down in, you're like, I mean, you can see it. I'm not I'm sure. I'm not being like, oh, it's like this. Like, even so again, one of the trips to the trail like daily. And can't come in from the children. I'm not doing this, you took this one with something with everything wrong, we ain't posting the hood. We live right here. Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? Uh, uh. I used to break at times like this, the grind like this, so I had to grind like that and shine like this. And the matter of time I spent was locked up in the back of the paddy wagon, cups locked in the wrist. Seeing dreams unfold, nightmares control. It's time to marry the game, and they say, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. That's why you try and bless me like a Saturday joke. Like a sneeze, please for them trips, ways I'm getting paid. Never let them between or won't start it. Look, but I'm lying, I'm like they I'm stuck in the air, I'm like the fire, like you're getting together. I'm like, I'm following and drinking, wishing forms and even riders and forms. Monogamy, it's swallowing anything for a dollar every time you get in the dollar. I did it with they put it around. Love by my side. It's like I'm flying. Look back to one step to the three. Then big like the beast in fans so big, can't even fit in the box spot. You ain't talking about what? That's what you're talking about. Gangsta movement sponsor. No, I'm talking about. I don't say a word. I don't say a word. So I got it now. I got it.